Hello guys, welcome to the fiction series. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto got harem with Pan, Bra and Marron? Part 1. Huge shout out to WINDSTORM16 for this story. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. 10 years have passed since the threat of Majin Buu was stopped by the Z fighters, with the terrifying being having been defeated by the Saiyan, Son Goku. Having managed to defeat Kid Buu with a spirit bomb made from the energy of all the people on Earth after having been convinced to help by Mr. Satan. With many changes having occurred within the Z fighters' lives, with Vegeta and Bulma having a second child, their daughter Bra. Goten and Trunks having grown into strong teenagers, though also having become lax during the peaceful time. And Gohan having retired from fighting in order to become a scholar, along with marrying Videl, with the two having a daughter of their own, Pan. Now though, it was time for the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament, with Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Goten, and Pan having entered the tournament. Along with a boy named Oob, who was the reincarnation of Kid Buu, due to the wish that Goku made before Buu's death. Man, I can't wait for the matches to start. Goku said, grinning in excitement at the chance to fight Oob, wanting to see if he had the same power that Kid Buu had. Just don't think of throwing your match, Kakarot. We still have our own rematch to have. Stated Vegeta, refusing to lose the chance to face Goku again after training the past 10 years in preparation for their rematch. While he has acknowledged Kakarot as the superior fighter between them during the battle against Kid Buu. Now preferring to discover his own limits and work to push past them. It doesn't mean he won't turn down the chance to fight his old rival again, especially since it will be a good way for Vegeta to see how far he's come in the last 10 years. Think I could get them to trade opponents with me? Trunks asked Goten, while glancing at his own opponent, Akatsuki, before shivering when he actually winked at him, much to Goten's amusement. I don't think so, and don't even try asking me. I like fighting, but I don't like it that much. Replied Goten, refusing to go against an opponent that'd be more likely to flirt with him. Grandpa. Look at who I'm fighting. Pan said, getting Goku's attention as they looked at the matchups. Naruto. Huh, I don't recognize that name. Do any of you know who it is? Goku asked, while looking at the others, only for them to shake their heads, not recognizing the name as any fighter they've heard of. Hey guys. Hearing the sudden voice, the Saiyans and half-Saiyans turned to see Krillin with his wife, Android 18, their daughter, Marron, and a young boy around Pan and Bulla's age. The boy having spiky blonde silver hair, fair skin, light blue eyes, 3 unique whisker-like marks on his cheeks, and wearing an orange guy, like the ones that Krillin and Goku wore, minus the turtle school logo on the back and front. Krillin, 18. I'm glad to see you again, are you guys competing too? Goku asked, only for the couple to shake their heads. Nope. But Naruto here is. Answered Krillin, smiling, while putting a hand on the now named Naruto's shoulder, with a whiskered blonde grinning and waving at them. Hi. I'm Naruto, Mom and Dad have told me a lot about you all. Said Naruto, with most of them being surprised at his words. Wait, Mom and Dad? He's your son, said Goku in surprise, with Krillin and 18 nodding. Yeah. And he's certainly a fighter, just like his parents. 18 said, smiling, while pulling Naruto into a hug, much to his embarrassment. Mom, come on, I'm supposed to be fighting. Muttered Naruto, not wanting his mother to embarrass him before his match starts. Wow, well congratulations guys. It's nice to meet you Naruto. My name's Goku and this my granddaughter, Pan, you'll be fighting her in the tournament. Goku said, while crouching down and smiling at Naruto, with Pan stepping forward and smiling as well, which Naruto returned before he then looked at Vegeta. Hey. You're MC Widow's Peak. Said Naruto, while pointing at Vegeta, whose eyes immediately snapped open as he looked at Naruto. What did you just say, boy? Vegeta demanded, as Naruto grinned. That's what Uncle 17 always calls you. That, and the guy who got beat up by my mom. Naruto said, while grinning at the Saiyan prince. How dare, said Vegeta in a low tone. Hey Vegeta. How are the arms? Questioned 18 from behind Naruto, while cracking her knuckles. If ISH shut up. Vegeta said, while scowling, before punching his opponent when the human walked up and started insulting him. I think that was your opponent. Trunks pointed out. You mean was my opponent? Retorted Vegeta as he crossed his arms. After getting the now unconscious fighter out of the ring, Krillin, 18, and Marron wished Naruto luck in his match before they went up to the stands with the rest of their friends to watch. With Naruto and Pan being called out by the announcer, with both kids standing in the ring. Good luck, Pan. Gohan said, while smiling at his daughter. Show them what you can do Naruto. Cheered Marron for her brother. Don't break him, Pan. Bra said to her friend. Good luck. Said Naruto, while bowing to Pan, which the quarter Saiyan returned. You too. Pan replied as the two smiled at each other. "Fighters, you may begin," said the announcer as the gong was sounded. Not a moment later, Pan vanished in a burst of speed before reappearing in front of Naruto, swinging her fists towards him. With Naruto managing to duck under the swing before throwing his leg out, kicking Pan in the stomach and sending her flying back, with the girl managing to catch herself just before she could fall out of the ring. With Naruto and Pan rushing towards each other, with the Quarter Saiyan spinning around Naruto and delivering a kick of her own at his back, knocking him across the ring. The whiskered blonde flipped in the air and placed his hands on the ground before launching himself back towards his opponent. The witch Pan raised her arms to block the dropkick from Naruto, only to be surprised when he used her as a springboard to get behind her before knocking her legs out from under her. Yelping in surprise at losing her balance, Pan gasped when Naruto kicked her in the stomach. Though the girl managed to grab hold of his leg before she was knocked back. With the sudden momentum causing both of them to fall to the ground before Pan quickly got back on her feet. With the Quarter Saiyan then jumping into the air before bringing her leg down towards Naruto. Causing the boy's eyes to widen as he rolled out of the way of the attack, relieved he was able to dodge after seeing the force Pan used actually crack the ring's tiles. Getting back to his feet, Naruto rushed Pan with the girl doing the same as they pulled their fists back before throwing them at each other. Resulting in both kids punching each other in the face, launching them away from the other and outside of the ring. But the audience being stunned at the fight between who they all believed to be two regular children, while the Z fighters cheered for Naruto and Pan. As well, the fight ended in a draw, both of them did their best. It looks like we have a double ring out, folks. Both Naruto and Pan have eliminated each other. The announcer said, after checking on both the kids, while Naruto and Pan picked themselves up before approaching each other. That was really fun, I only really get to fight Mom, Dad, and Uncle 17, but they all hold back. And Marron only really trains a little with me. So it was really fun to get to fight someone at their best. Naruto said, while smiling at Pan, which she returned and nodded in agreement. Yeah. Grandpa spars with me sometimes, but Mama and Dad don't really fight or train anymore. I hope we'll get to have a rematch though, where I'll win. Said Pan. No way, I'll win. And next time, we'll be able to use Kai attacks. Naruto said, with Pan nodding in excitement at the chance to fight with Kai attacks. The two shook hands before going up to the stands with their friends and families. Way to go, sweetheart. You were amazing out there. Videl said, while hugging her daughter with Gohan ruffling Pan's hair. Yeah, you were great out there, Pan. And so were you, Naruto. I can see Krillin and 18 have trained you well. Said Gohan, with Naruto smiling and thanks at the half Saiyan before he looked at his own family, with Marron immediately hugging her brother tightly. You were awesome, bro. But you should have won. Marron said, believing her brother would have been able to win the match. Maybe, but Pan is really strong. It just means I'll have to train even harder for when we have a rematch. Replied Naruto. That's the spirit. Keep it up and you'll be as strong as I am. 18 stated, while smirking. Let's not go that far, 18. But she's right, Naruto. If you keep at it, you'll be a powerful fighter in no time. Said Krillin, while smiling at his son. Thanks Mom, thanks Dad. But I couldn't have gotten this far without you, and I don't plan to stop until I'm the strongest. Naruto said, wanting to be a powerful fighter, like his parents and all their friends, after learning about some of the adventures they all went on. It made the whiskered blonde eager for the chance to become a fighter as well and go on adventures of his own. Afterwards, the next match between Goku and Uchiha began, with the latter being nervous about fighting. Until Goku began insulting him, causing the boy to release his power. With Uchiha being able to push Goku back, resulting in a surprisingly even match before Goku suddenly cut it short. Resulting in the Saiyan offering to train Uchiha to control his power, along with getting the money he needs for his village from Mr. Satan. Resulting in the two inexplicably leaving after Goku said his farewell to his friends and family before he and Uchiha flew off. Leading to the tournament being cancelled due to their match never officially concluding. With everyone soon leaving to return home, while Goten, Trunks, and Pan entertained the audience with Goten and Pan fighting each other. The Quarter Saiyan defeating her uncle with a smack on the cheek as the crowd began dispersing. Time skip 5 years. Kamehameha. Naruto shouted, firing the Kai blast out into the ocean and cutting through the water, while off to the side Roshi and Marron watched the now 10-year-old boy. But the now 18-year-old Marron looking like a mini version of her mother, along with having some of her father's features as well. With her hair growing down to her shoulders, kept in a pigtail style, while 3 strands hung over her forehead. With her attire consisting of a long-sleeved white shirt, a pink dress and hat, white socks and brown shoes. While Naruto had grown taller over the past 5 years, along with now wearing an official turtle school guy. Well done, Naruto. You've come a long way in your training, just like your father and Goku when they were your age. Said Roshi, once the Kamehameha dispersed, with Naruto grinning at his mentor. Thanks Master Roshi. Though I still wish you train more often with me, Marron. It's not as fun training alone," said Naruto as he looked at his sister, with Marron smiling at him. "Sorry Naruto, but I'll leave the fighting to you, mom and dad," Marron replied, as while she did start training on occasion to spend more time with her brother, she wasn't really interested in martial arts. "Besides, it's much more fun to watch my adorable little brother train," said Marron before hugging Naruto tightly against her chest, making the whiskered blonde squirm in her grasp. "NBR breathe," Naruto gasped. Thankfully Marron let go, letting him take in some much needed air. "Oh, you also need to get going, otherwise you'll be late for school," said Marron, remembering he still needed to get to school. "Yeah, thanks for the reminder sis," Naruto replied in a dry tone before flying up to his room to get changed, with Marron and Rashi watching. "He's really come a long way, hasn't he?" Marron stated, smiling, as while she wasn't interested in martial arts like Naruto was, outside of some occasional training, she could tell he's grown really strong. "He has. It reminds me of Krillin and Goku during their training, along with his drive to constantly grow stronger and better himself. I know Naruto has the potential to become one of the most powerful fighters I know, as long as he never gives up," said Rashi, knowing that despite being only human, he could sense that Naruto had great potential that could rival even a Saiyan's. "Yeah. As long as you don't corrupt him more than you already have," Marron hissed, while giving him a dry glare, with the turtle hermit laughed nervously. "It was an accident," Rashi said nervously, not wanting to risk getting another beating. Long story short, 3 years ago, Rashi had forgotten to put his adult magazines, aka his porn, away to where Naruto couldn't find it. Leading to Naruto finding them and developing a bit of a lecherous side, something that neither 18 nor Marron ever forgave him for. Along with both having shown their displeasure to Rashi for corrupting their son brother. Thankfully, Rashi was saved, as their attention turned back to Naruto as he flew out his window. "Bye Marron, Master Rashi. Bye mom, bye dad," said Naruto to his parents in Kame House, with Krillin and 18 walking up to the window. Despite 15 years having passed since Kid Buu's defeat, 18 hasn't changed even a little, looking exactly the same as she did. The only change being her outfit, now being a dark purple long sleeve shirt with lighter colored sleeves, light blue pants, white socks, and navy blue flats. While Krillin has shown signs of aging, with his hair now gray and having grown a mustache. With his attire consisting of a teal vest over a white, button-up shirt with folded cuffs, a light purple necktie around his collar, brown pants and black shoes. "Take care sweetie. And stay away from those girls, they're terrible influences," 18 said, making Krillin sweat drop and look at his wife, since it isn't the first time she's told Naruto to stay away from those girls. 18, you do know that Pan and Bra are 10, with Pan almost being 11. They aren't bad influences," said Krillin. "Yes they are. They're going to corrupt my baby, just like he did," 18 growled, while glaring daggers at Rashi, who gulped and wilted under the android's glare. Given the incident, 18 didn't like the fact that Naruto was friends with Pan and Bra. Now wanting her baby boy to be even more corrupted than he already is. "Come on 18, Naruto's not a little kid anymore, I'm sure he'll find a nice girl one day," said Krillin, not really minding what happened since he knew their son would eventually take an interest in girls, with it just happening sooner rather than later. Plus, Krillin would secretly admit he was beyond relieved he was able to get out of one day giving Naruto the talk. Along with the fact that he was a bit of a lech himself back in the day before he got together with 18. "Not if I have anything to say about it. And you can't really talk Krillin, you're the same with Marron," 18 retorted while crossing her arms. That's different. Marron is a sweet little angel that'd never show any interest in boys. At least she was until he corrupted her," said Krillin while giving Rashi the evil eye. "It was an accident," Rashi said in his defense. "I wasn't corrupted," denied Marron before blushing. She had been the one to find Naruto during the incident and had been prepared to take all the porn and burn it. Only to have her curiosity get the better of her and end up reading one, leading to Marron developing her own perverted side, which she vehemently denies exists. "Unless Naruto likes girls like that. My sweet, adorable, innocent little brother," Marron thought as her mind began drifting to less than innocent thoughts, involving her and her little brother doing the things she saw. "No. I'm not like the perverted old man. He corrupted my sweet little brother." Marron cried in denial, refusing to believe she was corrupted like Naruto had been, even as she imagined his cute face looking up at her, asking for her help. "Don't worry sweetheart, it's only natural. I'm sure you'll find a nice boy one day," said 18 while smirking at Krillin. "Over my dead body. And don't forget, we have Dragon Balls," Krillin said, refusing to even consider letting his daughter date any guy. "Well, Naruto's certainly coming a long way in his training. Give it a few more years and I doubt I'll have anything left to teach him," said Rashi, eager to change the conversation before he was attacked. Yeah, he really is growing. Krillin muttered, unable to deny the concern he felt for his son. Remembering, back when he had been a bright-eyed young martial artist. Even if he didn't have the best personality when he first met Goku. Which was why he was concerned for Naruto in the first place, given everything that happened in his life. Along with the reason he had given up the martial artist lifestyle to begin with, the realization of just how hopelessly outclassed he was. When compared to all the villains that came to Earth, along with the Saiyans, Krillin knew he came up rather short, no pun intended. Even to the point where Goten and Trunks were considered far stronger than him when they were kids. You're thinking about it again, aren't you? 18 stated, while seeing the look on her husband's face and knew what he's thinking about. I'm just worried. Naruto's so eager for the chance to become a powerful fighter, but what'll happen when he faces someone like Nappa and Vegeta when they came to Earth? Or Frieza and Cell, or any of the other villains we've gone up against? I just don't want him to go through the same painful realization that he's only a human among beings that could be considered gods. Said Krillin, not wanting Naruto to go through the same crushing revelation he did, with 18 wrapping her arms around his neck and kissing him on top of his head. Neither do I. But you shouldn't count Naruto out. In fact, he'd probably only take that as a challenge to prove everyone wrong. 18 said, knowing their son isn't one to back down from a challenge. Mom's right, Dad. Naruto wouldn't give up just because he'd be fighting aliens, androids, or whatever else shows up. He'll get right back up and train even harder. Added Marron, with Rashi nodding in agreement. They're both right. Krillin, if there's one thing I learned in my life, it's that the human spirit is indomitable. If you endeavor to achieve a goal, no matter how impossible it may seem, you will reach it. Maybe it won't be immediate, maybe it could take years, but as long as you have the guts and strength to never give up, then even a human could surpass a Saiyan. And I truly believe that Naruto is one such human. Rashi said with utmost honesty. Krillin looked between the three in surprise at their words and faith that Naruto could reach the same level as a Saiyan. Before the former monk smiled off in the direction his son flew in. Starting to think that maybe they're right and all it takes is having the will to never give up. With Naruto. Meanwhile, Naruto had soon arrived at his school, where he was greeted by Pan and Bra. The three having become good friends since meeting each other at the World Tournament 5 years ago. Anne's hair had grown since the World Tournament, now being down to just above her shoulders, along with straightening out. With the quarter Saiyan wearing a red crop top that exposed her midriff, an orange bandana on her head, chains on the right side of her grey jeans and fingerless gloves, like her mother used to wear, along with dark grey boots. Bra, meanwhile, looked like a mini version of her mother, with the same blue eyes and blue-green hair. While not having many features from her father, it has been noted that Bulla looks a lot like Vegeta whenever she gets angry or upset. With her attire consisting of a red crop top revealing her stomach and exposed shoulders, red fingerless gloves that go up to the shoulders, a red miniskirt with a yellow belt buckle, and red thigh-high boots. She also wears a red hairpiece, gold choker, and gold hoop earrings. It's about time you arrived. We were almost late. Bra said, with her hands on her hips. Sorry Bra, I was busy training and lost track of time until Marron reminded me. Naruto replied, sheepishly. I swear, if we didn't know your parents, I'd think you were a Saiyan with how much you train. No come on, before we really are late. Said Bra as they went inside. You should learn to relax more Bra. You're always so serious. Pan said, knowing the brunette was the most serious of the three of them. Well someone has to be, otherwise you both would be trying to ditch class to spar and train. Bra replied. That's not untrue. Said Naruto, willing to admit that they probably would do that. And for the record, I do know how to have fun. Stated Bra, while smirking. The trio then went about their usual day of attending their classes, with Naruto and Pan barely paying attention, since neither of them were ever the most studious. While Bra excelled in all her classes, given her mother is a genius and her brother is the current CEO of Capsule Corporation, it's expected that she was just as smart. Which also helped Naruto and Pan keep their own grades up, thanks to Bra helping them with their studies. Eventually, it came time for lunch, much to Naruto and Pan's relief at getting a break, as the three went outside to eat lunch. Though after Naruto finished his own, he immediately headed up to the rooftop and looked around to make sure he was alone, before pulling out a dirty magazine he managed to swipe from Rashi. He's on the roof, isn't he? Stated Pan with an annoyed look on her face, while Bra nodded with her own annoyed expression. Yep. Probably reading one of those damn magazines. Bra said, both girls having also been peeved at Rashi for unintentionally corrupting Naruto. Especially since it took his attention away from them, instead reading dirty magazines he manages to get somehow. But despite their annoyance, neither of them would want Naruto to change who he is for anything in the world. Later. After school ended, Naruto, Pan, and Bra had headed to the nearby dojo to train and spar. with Bra having taken up martial arts, so she wouldn't be the odd one out in their group. But had begun to genuinely enjoy it after awakening her own innate Saiyan instincts and love of fighting. But the three changing into their martial arts clothes, with Naruto wearing the turtle school uniform. And now wearing a red guy tank top over yellow long-sleeved shirt that stopped just past her elbows, which showed her midriff. Red long martial arts pants that stopped at her shins, just below her knees, with a light blue sash around her waist. While having black boots with silver lining on her feet over her long yellow socks. Along with a pair of light blue wristbands around, completing her look. Bra wore a red tank top that exposed her midriff, black spandex shorts that went down to above her knees, along white gloves and boots. With Bra now having her hair tied in a ponytail. "Hey Naruto, how's your training been coming?" Pan asked as the three went through some light exercises. "It's been going really great. I'm even able to perform the Kamehameha wave now. I'd show you both, but I don't want to end up destroying the dojo or anything else," replied Naruto while smiling at them. "That's pretty cool. I wish my dad would teach me that," said Pan, wishing she could train with her father, but knew he's since retired from fighting, though Gohan was still willing to train alongside his daughter, with Videl even joining them from time to time, along with Piccolo, whenever he stopped by. Unfortunately, Gohan hasn't gotten around to teaching Pan any Kai attacks outside of the basic ones, with the girl having really hoped to learn the Kamehameha. "If you want, I could teach it to you, Pan," Naruto offered, making the Quarter Saiyan smile at him. "Thank you, Naruto, but I wouldn't want you to train me while you're still in training," Pan replied, not wanting to have him divide his attention between his own training and training her, even if she'd like to spend more time with him. "It's no problem, really. Besides, while I'm helping you learn it, I could even work on making my own stronger and on ways to improve it," said Naruto, seeing a chance to help his friend and improve himself at the same time. "Well, if you're sure, then yeah, I'd really like it if you could teach me it," said Pan. "No problem. I could even teach you it too, if you want, Bra," Naruto said, with the bluenet humming in thought. "Maybe, but Dad's already teaching me how to do the Gallic gun. Also I talked to him and Mom, and I got them to agree to let us use the gravity chamber, as long as we keep it on low settings," said Bra, smiling, since while she and Pan would be able to handle the increased gravity thanks to their Saiyan heritage, Naruto wouldn't since he's fully human and would need to take it slow. "Really, that's awesome, we'll get stronger in no time using that. You're the best, Bra," Naruto said, excited at the chance to use the gravity chamber and train under increased gravity. "Yeah, I know," Bra stated, smirking, while flipping her hair, with Pan rolled her eyes. Yeah. Now if you're done inflating your ego, how about we see if you can back up your words," said Pan, as she and Bra stood across from each other. "Gladly, but don't get upset when you lose," Bra taunted as they got into their stances. "Hey, don't count me out," said Naruto, while getting into his own stance, making it a three-way spar. The three glancing at each other before after an unheard signal, they charged at each other. Later. After they had finished up their sparring, the three went their separate ways and went home. Though rather than go directly home, Naruto had headed for the wasteland to get some last-minute training in. Taking a deep breath, Naruto gave a shout as his muscle mass increased slightly, along with him growing a bit taller. The whiskered blonde having been taught to use the max power form by Rashi, using it to draw out all of his power to increase his strength. But it, unfortunately, also reducing his speed due to the increased muscle mass, leading to Naruto training in it to compensate for the reduced speed. Training in the form for a few hours, Naruto soon powered down, panting lightly, but also pleased as he felt himself beginning to move slightly faster while in the max power form. Just one more thing, Naruto thought before clenching his fists and concentrating. For a brief moment, Naruto was surrounded by a crimson-red aura as he felt his power suddenly double, only for it soon to vanish as the boy stumbled, panting in exhaustion. "Damn, I almost had it," Naruto said, having felt his power go up for a moment, only for it to fail. One thing Naruto had heard about from his father, Piccolo, Gohan, and Vegeta was the Kaioken technique used by Goku. How it could multiply the user's power, strength, speed, and Kai for a heartbeat, giving them access to greater power when needed. With Naruto having hoped to recreate it, only to have been met with little success and was currently stuck. "What are you doing?" Dumping slightly at the sudden voice, Naruto turned and saw Piccolo standing behind him with his arms crossed. The Namekian looking down at the human child after sensing his energy nearby and came to investigate, while being surprised to see him using the max power form Rashi uses. Even more so, when for a brief moment, it looked like he actually used a Kaioken only for it to fade. "Oh Piccolo, I didn't see you there. I was just training," Naruto answered. "I can see that. How exactly do you know the Kaioken? Only Goku should know that technique and he hasn't been seen since the World Tournament," said Piccolo. I've actually been trying to recreate it, having been trying to after I learned about it, but have gotten stuck. I just can't make it hold for more than a moment," replied Naruto, surprising Piccolo that he was able to recreate the Kaioken from just learning about it. Give me a minute," said Piccolo, while putting a hand on Naruto's head, confusing the boy. "King Kai," Piccolo thought as he contacted King Kai. "Huh, Piccolo? What is it? Did something happen?" asked King Kai. "No, nothing happened. I'm here with Naruto, Krillin and Android 18's son. And he's been doing some rather interesting training," replied Piccolo mentally before telling the North Kai what he saw and what Naruto just told him. With King Kai being shocked to learn someone was able to recreate the Kaioken after only hearing about it. "Well, that's certainly amazing. But why are you trying to learn the Kaioken, Naruto? If you know about, then you'd surely know the risks that come with it," said King Kai, with Naruto nodding. "Yeah, I do. But I don't want to just learn it, I also want to try and combine it with my max power form to create my own transformation. One that not only draws out all my power, but multiplies it, allowing me the increased strength of the max power form, while not having the increased muscle mass that reduces my speed. With it also being a way to make the Kaioken's boost more permanent until I end the transformation," Naruto mentally explained, surprising both Piccolo and King Kai, definitely not expecting that. But it also intrigued them both, realizing that Naruto was certainly a prodigy when it came to martial arts and fighting. Even better, that he has the drive and desire to push himself, unlike most prodigies that usually grow stagnant, complacent, and sloppy when they reach a certain point. Well, in that case, you'll need a good teacher to show you how to properly use the Kaioken," King Kai stated. "And someone here to make sure you don't go overboard," said Piccolo, surprising Naruto, not expecting them to offer to help train him. Though he wasn't complaining at getting the chance to not only be a member of the Turtle School, but also become a student of Piccolo and King Kai as well. "Infinity Bullet," Naruto shouted, charging a blue swirling energy sphere in his hands before releasing dozens of Kai blasts from it at Piccolo, with the Super Namekian dodging through the barrage of blasts before he got in close to Naruto. With Piccolo throwing his leg out at the boy, only for Naruto to jump over it and slam his foot into Piccolo's face, making the Namekian stumble back slightly. Though he quickly recovered and smirked at Naruto while rubbing his jaw. "That was pretty good, I actually felt that kick," stated Piccolo. "You'll be feeling a lot more soon," Naruto said before rushing the Namekian as the two began throwing punches and kicks at each other while ascending into the air. 5 months have passed since Naruto began training under Piccolo and King Kai, with Piccolo being impressed with the whiskered blonde's growth rate. From his training under Roshi and his parents, along with his recent training sessions under himself and King Kai. As well as Naruto's training and sparring sessions with Bra and Pan. Granted, the Super Namekian has been holding back, especially since he's gotten stronger as well from the training with Naruto, something Piccolo was glad for. As if there's one thing he's learned in his life, is that there always seems to be a new more powerful threat showing up and he'd like to be prepared for when the next one shows up. While Naruto managed to learn and master the Kaioken over the months of their training. Along with the meditation exercises and image training sessions they've done to help strengthen his mind and body. Which allowed him to gain access to 2 new passive abilities that have definitely proven useful. The first being known as mimicry, a rare and coveted ability that allows fighters to copy an opponent's moves after seeing them only once. With Naruto having shown to have it when he was able to perfectly replicate Piccolo's Hellzen Grenade and Masenko. And the second was known as Pure Progress, an ability Piccolo that remembered seeing Frieza have on Namek as well as Uub during his fight with Goku at the World Tournament. With Naruto also having the ability, as with each spar they had, the boy would adapt and improve his performance the longer the spars went on. Piccolo had also observed Bra and Pan's training as well, seeing they were making just as much improvement, both due to their constant training and Saiyan heritage. If he compared them to the Z fighters, Piccolo would say they were at the level they were at when they first went against the androids in Cell. But, before they used the hyperbolic time chamber. Something that impressed the Super Namekian, given how hard they all trained to face the androids, showing the 3 had the potential to grow even stronger the older they got. Currently, the 2 were sparring once again in the wasteland, having been at it for a few hours already. With the 2 suddenly breaking apart. As Naruto gave a shout as he was surrounded in a red aura. "Using the Kaioken now, then I guess I'll have to start holding back less, then," Piccolo said, only to see Naruto smirking at him. "Not just the Kaioken, I'm gonna show you something new," said Naruto, before giving another shout as his aura intensified, which caught Piccolo's and King Kai's attention, with the latter watching the spar. "Did he really do it?" King Kai said, wondering if Naruto really managed to combine the Kaioken and max power form to create a new transformation. "We're about to find out," thought Piccolo, getting ready to see just how strong Naruto would be in this new form. Unfortunately, before Naruto could transform, much less call out his transformation's name, he was stopped when his cell phone started ringing. With the boy groaning, before he powered down and pulled it out. "Sorry, time out for a minute," said Naruto while looking at his phone and saw it was Marron as he answered it. "Hey Marron, what is it? I was in the middle of something," Naruto said, a little annoyed at the interruption, especially when he was finally going to test out his transformation in a fight. "Sorry to interrupt Naruto, but I'm just calling to remind you about our promise to Uncle 17 to fill in for him as Monster Island Rangers," Marron replied, making Naruto's eyes widen in remembrance at the promise. Their Uncle 17 was planning to go on a family vacation with their aunt and cousins, with him asking Naruto and Marron to fill in for him on Monster Island. Something he's done before, given how dangerous it was for regular rangers. "Oh right, that's today. Yeah, I'll be there soon to get ready, thanks for the reminder sis," said Naruto before hanging up and looked at Piccolo. "Sorry, but I have to cut things short. Marron and I are filling in for Uncle 17 on Monster Island for the next couple of days," Naruto said, with Piccolo nodding in understand as they floated back to the ground. "It's fine, you made a promise and are just keeping it," replied Piccolo. "Though we will be interested in seeing that new transformation of yours one day, Naruto," King Kai said, both of them interested in seeing the transformation in action for themselves. "You will next time. See ya," said Naruto, waving at the Namekian before flying off towards Kame House. Though on the way back home, Naruto was greeted by Pan and Bra flying up next to him. "Hey Naruto, did you finish training with Piccolo?" Pan asked, since usually he'd spend all day training with Piccolo, with Naruto shaking his head. "No. I got a call from Marron and had to cut it short, we promised our uncle that we'd fill in for him as Monster Island Rangers. While he, our aunt and cousins are on a family vacation," answered Naruto. "Monster Island? That sounds pretty cool, do you mind if we join you?" questioned Bra, the two having heard of Monster Island from Naruto and were intrigued at the chance to see for themselves, along with all the animals on it. "Yeah, if you want to. It'd be nice to have some help since it's usually just me and Marron," Naruto replied, glad for the chance to have his friends join him, since while he and Marron can usually handle things by themselves, it's still good to have the extra help. "Awesome. We'll head home to get ready, then meet you and Marron at Kame House," said Pan, with Naruto nodding, before the two Saiyan hybrids flew back to their respective homes to pack. Naruto soon arrived at Kame House, being greeted by his parents watching TV and Marron waiting for him. "There you are, what took you so long?" Marron said, since it didn't take that long for Naruto to get home from his training. "I ran into Pan and Bra on the way back and they asked if they could join us on Monster Island and I said yes, since it'd be good to have the extra help," answered Naruto, much to 18 and Marron's annoyance, the former at those two being on an island with her son, while the latter was annoyed at losing her chance for some quality time with her brother. "Oh, how wonderful. Well we should go get packed and ready, then," Marron said, before heading up the stairs, with Naruto joining her. "Maybe I should go with them," said 18, once the two were out of earshot, refusing to take the chance of those two trying anything with her baby, with Krillin sighing at his wife's overprotectiveness. "Relax 18, nothing's gonna happen. Besides, Marron will be there. So even if Pan and Bra were planning to do something, which I doubt that they are, they wouldn't be able to do anything, with Marron there as well," Krillin assured, easing 18 from her overprotective mother mode. The android knowing she can count on her daughter to keep them from corrupting Naruto any more than he already is. After a few moments, Naruto and Marron came down with their bags just as there was a knock at the door, with Pan and Bra walking in with their own bags. "Hey girls, I'm glad you could make it," said Naruto, smiling at his friends, which they returned. "Yeah, it didn't take long to get everything we needed and our parents' permission," Bra replied before they looked at Naruto's parents and sister. "Hey Marron, Krillin, 18. Greeted Bra. "Hey Pan, Bra, how are you girls doing?" Krillin said while smiling at the two. "We're doing good. How are you all?" Pan asked. "Still strong enough to break a Super Saiyan's arms," stated 18, narrowing her eyes at the two girls, making them tense slightly. "Yeah, we've been doing some training of our own. We might even turn Super Saiyan ourselves one day," Bra said. "Maybe you'd be willing to try sparring against Mom when that happens. I'm sure she'd be happy to give you both a challenge," said Marron while smiling innocently at the two younger girls. "Happily," 18 said, with her own innocent smile. "Sure. But it may unfair if we both went against you. We wouldn't want anyone to get hurt," replied Pan as the two hybrids narrowed their eyes. With Naruto and Krillin practically feeling the tension in the air from the four females. "Well, you four should get going soon, I'm sure that 17 is expecting you any minute now," Krillin said, quickly to try and defuse the tension. "Yeah, come on, let's hurry," added Naruto while moving towards the door with Marron, Pan, and Bra thankfully following him. Stay safe you two and make sure to look after your brother, Marron. 18 called out. I will mom. I'll watch him very closely. Replied Marron while whispering the latter part to herself. The four then flew into the air towards Monster Island, with Naruto being relieved that the flight was a silent one, with no further tension between his sister and friends. Later. It wasn't long until the four arrived at Monster Island, where they were greeted by 17. Hey, Uncle 17. Naruto said, while smiling and waving at his uncle. It's nice to see you again, uncle. Said Marron, smiling as well, with 17 nodding at his niece and nephew with a small smile. Naruto, Marron, it's good to see you both as well. And I see you brought Pan and Bra as well. 17 said, while looking at the Saiyan hybrids. We asked Naruto if we could come and help him and Marron on the island. Said Pan. If it's alright with you sir. Bra added. Yeah, that's fine. It'll actually be even better that there will be 4 of you to look after the island while I'm gone. Come on, I'll give a short tour of the island and ranger station so you'll know what to do. Replied 17 leading the 4 around the island, showing them where the animals were, along with everything in the station. Though the tour was mostly for Bra and Pan, since they haven't done this before. While for Naruto and Marron, it was more of a refresher course, since it's been a while since they last did this. 117 showed them everything and told them what to do. He took off to go meet with his wife and kids, so they could go on their vacation. After 17 left, Naruto, Marron, Bra, and Pan went into the station to put on the ranger uniforms, since the Cell Juniors on the island had been tamed to not attack rangers. They needed to wear the uniforms to make sure they didn't attack them. With Naruto soon coming out wearing a stand ranger attire, with Pan and Bra soon coming out wearing their own uniforms. With some customization to better suit their style, with Pan wearing a crop top and shorts. While Bra wore a tank top that exposed her midriff, a skirt, and fingerless gloves. What do you think Naruto? Bra asked while posing, with Pan doing the same. Do we look good in our uniforms? Asked Pan as she smiled cutely at Naruto. Yeah, you both look really great. Naruto replied, smiling at his friends, making them smile as well, pleased at his response. And how do I look, Naruto? Hearing his sister's voice, the 3 turned to see Marron come out, only for Naruto's eyes to widen in shock. While Pan and Bra's moods immediately dropped, with them scowling in jealousy. The reason being that rather than wearing a regular uniform or a customized one, Marron was wearing something completely different. Marron kept her hair in its usual pigtail style and was wearing black shoes, leather straps wrapped around each of her thighs, blue short shorts that looked more like bikini bottoms, black leather gloves, the orange ranger arm strap on her left arm, sunglasses on top of her head, and a green bikini top with white trimming and mirror on her left breast. With it also straining against her DD cup breasts. How did I look, bro? Marron asked with a sly smile, while posing provocatively, with Pan and Bra muttering to themselves while crossing their arms over their chests. Ooh, said Naruto, unable to think of anything to say at the sight of his sister wearing such clothing. The whiskered blonde having an internal struggle, as on one hand, he's looking at an incredibly beautiful and hot girl that's wearing hardly any clothing in real life. But on the other hand, said girl was his own sister, which somehow made Naruto want to keep looking at her even more. Well, what do you think, Naruto? Does it fit me okay? Said Marron, while turning around and bending over slightly. You shouldn't be asking your brother what he thinks of clothes like that. Bra said, not believing what Marron was doing, but mostly wanting to get Naruto to look away from her. Oh relax, it's not like we're doing anything bad. Besides, I always ask for Naruto's opinion on clothes I wear, since I know he'll be completely honest. Right Naruto? Marron asked, while walking over and smiling at Naruto as she bent down in front of him, with the boy struggling to look at his sister's face and not her breasts, in front of him. Yeah. Marron does ask me what I think of any new outfit she gets. And I think you look really great Marron. Said Naruto, before yelping when Marron pulled him into a hug while smirking at Pan and Bra. See? Perfectly harmless, just a sister getting her brother's opinion on her outfit. Marron said. And what about what you're doing right now? Pan demanded while pointing at Naruto, whose head was currently buried between Marron's breasts. So? What, I'm not allowed to show affection to my baby brother. Said Marron, while brushing it off, both to them and herself, that she's merely being affectionate to her brother, with Pan and Bra narrowing their eyes at her before they widened. You're broken. The 2 girls shouted, while pointing at Marron accusingly, with the teen's eyes widening before they narrowed, while letting Naruto go. The broken I'm no such thing, I simply love my little brother. Retorted Marron with her hands on her hips. Yes, you are. No older sister would wear that of all things, in front of their brother. Pan said as she motioned to Marron's outfit. I already told you, I always get Naruto's opinion on my outfits. That doesn't make me a broken. Marron said. Yeah, it does. Asking for his opinion on outfits like that one is completely different. What, do you model underwear for him too? Demanded Bra, with Marron quickly looking away with a blush on her face. That is personal and certainly not something either of you need to know. But for your information, no I don't. Marron said, while lying through her teeth. Alright, that's enough. We're here to take care of the island while 17 is away. Not get into an argument over Marron's outfit, said Naruto, while breaking the three up, with the girls glaring at each other one last time, before they nodded. Seeing they weren't about to start arguing or attacking each other, Naruto nodded while sighing in relief, before the four began performing their duties as park rangers. They didn't have to do much, besides make sure the animals were safe and healthy, patrol for any poachers that try to get on the island, and write reports for 17 and his wife to look over, once they return. Though Naruto's attention soon turned when he saw the Cell Juniors patrolling the island as well, making the boy look at them curiously. Having remembered learning about them from his parents and uncle, how they were created by Perfect Cell, only to be destroyed by Gohan. Though since they had the same powers as Cell, they managed to survive and regenerate from their intact nuclei. But 17 taming them to defend Monster Island and not attack rangers. Why haven't they grown up yet? Naruto thought, confused that it's been over 20 years, and yet the Cell Juniors looked exactly the same as they did in the Cell games, from what his parents told him. It made him wonder if they even could grow up or if they were stuck as chibis. Shaking his head of the thought, Naruto's mind then went to his feelings for Bra and Pan, along with their own feelings for him, as well. Naruto was aware of their feelings, but he just wasn't sure how to tell them about his own. Since if he chose one, then he'd end up hurting the other, and Naruto didn't want to hurt either of them, like that. Not to mention Marron's brother complex for me. Not that I can really say anything, since I have a sister complex. Naruto thought, which isn't surprising, given how he and Marron have always been close to each other, with the magazine incident not helping with things. Thinking about it actually made Naruto chuckle, noting how he isn't even 13 yet, the age where he's really supposed to start feeling the effects of puberty, as well as the age of consent. And yet he already feels like the protagonist of some harem manga. The four continued their patrols around the island before it soon started getting late, making them return to the ranger station. With Naruto also pulling out a dirty magazine he brought with him after making sure the girls wouldn't see it. Naruto grinning as he flipped through it, seeing it was a swimsuit edition. Though the whiskered blonde suddenly stopped when he reached a new page and looked at the image in surprise. The reason being that it was a picture of a buxom and curvaceous young woman wearing a small yellow swimsuit. But what had really Naruto's attention was the fact that the woman had blue hair and looked incredibly similar to Bulma and Bra. Though on closer inspection, Naruto saw the woman's hair was a lighter shade of blue than Bulma and Bra's blue-green hair and had gray eyes rather than blue ones. I wonder if she might be related to them. Naruto thought, seeing how similar the woman was to his friend, before he began blushing as he imagined Bra looking like that when she grew up, making him quickly turn the page. Though unknown to Naruto, that was his father's ex-girlfriend, Marron, who due to her good looks, along with her ditzy and airheaded nature, accidentally became a dirty magazine model and porn star. Having become a big hit in the industry as well. With Naruto being unaware of Marron and who she is, since 18 didn't like it when Krillin's ex-girlfriend is brought up. Even if it's by accident. Eventually though, Naruto set the magazine aside and went outside to see if he could get some training done with Pan, Bra, or the Cell Juniors. All while, he was unaware of a spaceship that was coming towards Earth. A spaceship that was heading straight towards Monster Island. Naruto ducked under a kick from Bra before grabbing the brunette's leg and throwing her towards Pan, only for the Quarter Saiyan to leap over Bra and slam her fist into Naruto's face, knocking him back. With a whiskered blonde grunting at the hit before stopping himself in midair and raising his arms to block another punch from Pan. While Bra recovered and sped behind Naruto to deliver a spin kick to his back, only for Naruto to grab Pan and spin them around, leading to the Ravenette being struck instead. With Naruto then firing a Kai blast at Bra while she was distracted, leading to both girls falling out of the sky. You sure you don't want to join Marron? Naruto asked his sister, who sat outside of the ranger station, with the older girls simply watching the spar rather than taking part. I'm fine Naruto, you three just keep going as long as you want. And I'll keep admiring the show as long as I can. Replied Marron, while thinking the latter part to herself, unable to help but check out her brother while they were training. While telling herself she's merely watching his form for any mistake he makes that she would point out and help him correct. Nodding, Naruto quickly flew up, avoiding a Kai blast from Bra, only to see Pan right above him. Maiden rage. Pan shouted, bringing her hands down at her sides, and charged up 2 crimson energy spheres, with lightsaber blue electricity arcing off them, before bringing the 2 energy spheres together and firing an energy wave straight towards Naruto. Big bang attack. Said Bra as she aimed her palm at Naruto, firing a Kai ball at him, leaving him trapped between the two attacks. Seeing the attacks coming towards him, Naruto smirked before focusing his power as a barrier formed around him, shielding him from the two attacks. With Bra and Pan being surprised at the barrier as their attacks hit it and exploded, which soon faded, revealing Naruto. The whiskered blonde dropping the shield, panting lightly as Bra and Pan flew over to him. When you'd learn how to do that? Pan asked, not knowing when Naruto learned to create a barrier. I had Mom and Uncle 17 show me the android barrier, so I could recreate it. But it takes a lot of power to maintain and tires me out. Replied Naruto, knowing if their attacks had been stronger, his barrier wouldn't have held, since he still hasn't mastered the move yet. Huh, that's pretty cool. Though I guess we'll end the sparring for now. Said Bra, with Naruto and Pan nodding in agreement before they flew down and sat beside Marron. That was really great, Naruto. You're really growing stronger. Marron said while smiling at her brother, since the three had been sparring for a few hours already and yet didn't show any signs of being tired. Thanks sis, though I doubt I'd be able to have gotten this strong without Pan and Bra helping and training alongside me. Said Naruto as he smiled at his friends, which they returned. We're happy to help, Naruto. Bra said, glad to help train with Naruto and spar against him, as it let them spend more time together. Yeah, and we should thank you, since you helped push us to train harder to get stronger. Added Pan, knowing that while they enjoyed spending time with Naruto, it also pushed them to train harder, so they didn't fall behind. Their Saiyan blood refusing to let them be seen as weak or falling behind, especially to the boy they like. Though suddenly the four's attention turned to the sound of something in the air, looking their eyes widened when they saw a ship descending to the island before landing on the ground. With it opening up as dozens of armed and armored men came running out, all of them carrying guns and swords. Along with then a large green frog-like alien coming out surrounded by several red armor-wearing aliens carrying swords. Poachers. Naruto shouted before he, Marron, Pan, and Bra flew off to deal with the galactic poachers. But the Cell Juniors having also seen the ship and immediately flew off to deal with the poachers, rushing right past the four as they began speeding around and taking care of most of them. With the others soon arriving and helping deal with the rest of them as well, until only the guards and the boss were left. Pan and Bra flew forward and to take out the guards, ducking and dodging their sword slashes, while Naruto and Marron flew into the ship after the boss. Who had ran inside after seeing how quickly his men were being taken out. Only to be stopped when Naruto and Marron appeared in front of him, making the boss pull out a knife and point it at them. Saint, stay back. I'm warning you. Shouted the boss, only for Marron to swipe the knife from him before he could blink. You aren't very bright, are you? Marron stated, not knowing how he thought a knife would help him, given the poachers' guns and swords didn't work on them. Now, you can either surrender yourself peacefully or we can beat you until you're unconscious. Your choice. Said Naruto, smirking, only for the boss to then pull out a remote. Don't even think about taking another step, you brat. If any of you try anything, I'll press this button and trigger the bomb I have implanted inside of me. The boss threatened, making the siblings pause. And powerful is this bomb exactly? Naruto asked, wondering how big the explosion would be, to know how far away from the island the guy needed to be. Powerful enough to destroy this entire ship and you two along with it. Now, you'll do exactly as I say, or said the boss, only to cry out when Naruto suddenly appeared in front of him, slamming his foot into his chest. But the force of the blow sending the boss crashing out of the ship and flying through the air, away from the island. Until he soon crashed into the sea and got swept away by the current. Do you think he was bluffing? Marron asked while looking at her brother, with Naruto shrugging. Maybe, unless he was really stupid enough to put a bomb inside himself. Either way, he's not a problem anymore. Replied Naruto, with Marron nodding in agreement before they exited the ship, finding Pan and Bra already tying up the unconscious poachers with the Cell Juniors. Hey, we saw the boss be sent flying out into the ocean. What happened? Bra asked, wondering why they didn't capture the leader instead. He threatened to blow up a bomb he had inside of himself, though he could have been bluffing. But I wasn't gonna take the chance and kicked him out into the ocean after hearing how powerful it would have been. Naruto answered, making the girls nod. Well, we've already taken care of these guys for when 17 comes back. Said Pan as they watched the Cell Juniors take the poachers away to lock them up until 17 returned to deal with them. Later. After dealing with the poachers, the group had gone off to relax, train, or watch the animals, figuring that they wouldn't be seeing any more poachers try to show up. With Naruto and Pan having gone down to the beach, with the whiskered blonde teaching the Quarter Saiyan how to perform the Kamehameha wave. Having shown her the stance and what she needed to do in order to perform it, with Pan now trying it out. Kamehameha. Pan shouted while thrusting her hands forward and fired the Kai blast out into the ocean, cutting a path through the water, the girl grinning widely at seeing she did it. Alright. That is so awesome. said Pan, excited at being able to perform her grandfather's signature attack. Way to go Pan, that was really great. Naruto said while smiling at his friend, which Pan returned. Thanks for teaching it to me Naruto, I can't wait to show mom and dad that I can use it now. Replied Pan, with Naruto nodding in response. I'm sure they'll be really impressed and proud that you know how to do it. And I'm sure if you keep training like this, you'll become a Super Saiyan in no time. Said Naruto, confident that both Pan and Bra had what it takes to become Super Saiyans, like the rest of their family, along with being powerful fighters. Yeah, and I always wondered what I'd look like as a Super Saiyan. What do you think Naruto, would I look good with blonde hair and teal eyes? Pan asked, knowing her hair would turn gold and her eyes teal, but couldn't picture exactly how she'd look. I think you look great either way. But I'd really like to see how strong you are as a Super Saiyan, especially with my own transformation. Said Naruto smiling, while Pan looked at him in surprise. You have a transformation since when? Pan asked. Since I started training with Piccolo and King Kai, I've managed to learn the Kaioken and combine it with the max power form that Master Roshi taught me, giving me my own transformation. Revealed Naruto, much to the Quarter Saiyan's surprise and excitement. And I see it said Pan, eager to see Naruto's new transformation and how he'd look, only to be disappointed when Naruto shook his head. Sorry Pan, but I'm saving it for when I need to use it and don't want to reveal it too soon. Naruto replied. Along with not mentioning the fact that he hasn't actually mastered the transformation yet. Well he can use it just fine, Naruto isn't able to utilize its full power just yet since it puts a massive strain on his body the further he pushes it. Though Naruto was confident that at his current level, he would have been able to be just below Piccolo in terms of power. Knowing the Super Namekian still had years of experience and training over him. Come on. Please, can I see it Pan said, looking at Naruto with large puppy dog eyes, something that always got her what she wanted whenever she used them. With Naruto cracking slightly at the look but stayed strong. Sorry Pan, but no matter how cute you look like that, I'm not showing you the transformation. Said Naruto, making the girl cross her arms and pout before she grinned and looked at Naruto. You think I'm cute? Questioned Pan, with Naruto freezing slightly as he realized what he just said. That's not what I mean Naruto stuttered with a light blush. So I'm not cute? Pan said, now with tears in her eyes, making the whiskered blonde freak out. No. You are cute, I mean that you look cute when you said Naruto, only stopping when Pan giggled. I'm just messing with you Naruto. Pan stated smirking, with Naruto giving her a dry glare. That's not funny Pan. Said Naruto, since he usually tried to avoid complimenting Pan and Bra's looks to avoid making things awkward between them and put any strain on their friendship. Even if he'd silently admit to himself, he did think they were both really pretty. But do you really think I'm cute or pretty? Pan asked honestly, making Naruto gulp not sure how to answer. I said Naruto, only to be surprised when Pan kissed him on the cheek and smiled at him. Given what had happened when they first arrived on the island, with Marron's uniform and the attention Naruto gave her. Both Pan and Bra agreed that they may have to start being more forward with their feelings for Naruto before someone else showed up to take him. Though both girls also agreed they wouldn't lose to other, their pride refusing the idea of losing to a rival. It's fine, you don't have to answer. Besides, I like it better if you think I'm awesome. Now come on, we still have to patrol the island. Said Pan before flying off, with Naruto soon following after her as they began patrolling the island and checking on the animals. After they finished checking the island and the animals, Naruto went to go check on Bra, with the half-Saiyan having stayed at the poacher's ship to see what kind of tech it had inside. With it being her first time being able to see an alien ship up close. Bra, you in here Naruto called out as he entered the ship. I'm on the bridge. Said Bra from within the ship, with Naruto following her voice until he reached what he guessed was the control center for the ship. What have you found? Naruto asked, wondering what she's managed to find. A lot actually. These poachers have gone to different planets kidnapping rare and exotic animals to sell them to the highest bidders. They came here for the Minotaurus on the island, apparently their horns are very valuable and are even supposedly key ingredients to an immortality medicine or something like that. Said Bra, surprising Naruto before he frowned that there are more animals on this ship. Well I'm sure Uncle 17 would be glad to let the animals stay on the island if he can't find some way to bring them back to their planets. Naruto said, knowing his aunt and uncle wouldn't mind having more animals on the island to look after and study. There might be something for that too, since it seems that the Galactic Patrol have been after these poachers for a few years now. 17 should be able to contact them with this ship to take the poachers in and get the animals back to their home planets. But I hope they won't mind me taking some things from this ship, there's so much tech here that I know Mom and Trunks would love to see. Bra said, smiling in excitement as she began going over all the equipment in the ship, along with all the uses she and her family could have from it, all the things they could build. With Naruto smiling at his friend, knowing she could get pretty excited when it came to new technology, like her mother and brother, along with inventions they could make from it. Well, Bra soon remembered he was standing there and blushed in embarrassment, knowing she could sometimes get lost in her own mind when she gets excited. Haha, sorry I was rambling again. Bra said sheepishly, which Naruto waved off. No, it's fine, I like seeing you happy and excited over something, rather than being serious all the time. Naruto said, making Bra smile at him. Thanks. Though we should also get the other animals out of their cages so they don't stay trapped any longer than they have been. Said Bra, with Naruto nodding in agreement before they headed to the cargo hold. Once they arrived, they opened up all the containers the animals were in and guided them out onto the island. Luckily, none of the animals were aggressive and even warmed up to the two preteens for freeing them before they ran off to explore the island. Thanks for the help, Naruto, I'm gonna see what else I can find on the ship. Bra said. No problem, and if you need any more help, just let me know. Replied Naruto, making the half Saiyan smile before she kissed him on the cheek. You'll be the first person I go to. Stated Bra before entering the ship, leaving a stunned Naruto. What's gotten into them? Naruto wondered, knowing Pan and Bra didn't usually do stuff like that. Shaking his head, Naruto went off to see where Marron was, soon finding her laying in a chair on top of the mountain on the island. Or is it a plateau? Thought Naruto, not sure if it could be called a mountain or a plateau. Marron, what are you doing up here? Naruto asked. I'm relaxing, bro. Replied Marron, while smiling contently from her spot. I can see that, but we're supposed to be patrolling the island and taking care of the animals. Naruto reminded, making Marron open her eyes and look at her brother. I know, Naruto, don't worry. I can see everything from up here, so if any more poachers show up, I'll be the first to see them. Along with being able to hear and see the animals if any of them need help. Just because we're still doing that doesn't mean we can't relax as well. Said Marron, with Naruto not being able to argue with her words since the spot did give a good view of the entire island and ocean, making it perfect to spot approaching poachers, along with the animals down below. I guess so. Said Naruto, making Marron beam at him. Then before Naruto could react, the older girl grabbed him and sat him on her lap. Great, now come and relax with your big sister. Marron said happily while wrapping her arms around Naruto and holding him close, with Naruto blushing at the feeling of her breasts against his head. Ma, maybe I should go check the surrounding ocean, see if any poacher are coming. Said Naruto. Naruto, please stay, it's been a while since we were able to spend time together, just the two of us. I just want to lay here and relax with my little brother. So, can we just stay here for a little while? Marron said, wanting to just enjoy some quality time with Naruto, without any interruptions. I guess we can. And sorry if we haven't spent as much time together, Marron. Replied Naruto, knowing he's been busy recently with his training, school, and hanging out with Bra and Pan, with Marron simply smiling and kissing him on the head. It's fine, I know you're really focused on your training, but just don't forget to spend with me as well, alright? I miss my adorable baby brother. Marron cooed, making Naruto blush in embarrassment. I'm 10. Muttered Naruto, only for Marron to hug him tighter as the teen grinned. Don't care, you're still my little brother. Or maybe not so little. Marron stated, while thinking the latter part before quickly shoving the thoughts to the far back of her mind as the two siblings enjoy the moment of peace together. Time skip 1 week. I gotta say, you four did really great in handling things. 17 said, having just returned along with his family from their vacation and learned what had happened while they were gone. Pleased to hear how the four handled the galactic poachers and freed the animals on their ship, along with planning to contact this galactic patrol to have them come pick up the poachers. Glad we could help, Uncle 17, let us know if you need help again. Replied Marron as she smiled at her uncle. Yeah, it'd be fun to come back here and maybe get a chance to spar with the Cell Juniors. Naruto said, wanting to see just how strong the Cell Juniors are, since they're supposed to be as strong as Perfect Cell, though could have become weaker from their lack of training and when they regenerated. Same, it was pretty good coming here. Said Pan, not minding if she came here to help some, especially if it meant spending more time with Naruto. Me too, and thanks for letting me take some stuff from the ship. Bra added, with 17 nodding to them. Will do and no problem. See you four later. 17 said, while waving as they flew off to return home. Though as they flew, the four looked up in confusion when they saw the sky beginning to turn dark. Huh? I could have sworn it was around noon, how's it becoming night already? Bra muttered, confused that the sky was turning dark already. Is it a storm? Asked Pan, just as confused at the sudden change. It doesn't look like any storm I've seen. It also doesn't feel colder. Marron stated, not feeling a temperature difference or feeling any raindrops. Maybe someone found the Dragon Balls. Doesn't the sky usually turn dark whenever they're found and Shenron is summoned? Suggested Naruto, making the girls think it over before nodding, figuring that's the most likely conclusion. Now they just wondered who found the Dragon Balls. The lookout. Meanwhile, up on the lookout, the Pilaf gang had snuck up onto the lookout while Goku and Uub were training and managed to steal the Dragon Balls inside. Though they weren't the regular Dragon Balls, instead being the Black Star Dragon Balls, having been created by the nameless Namekian before he separated himself into Kami and Demon King Piccolo. With Pilaf having learned of their existence through his research and study, learning they were vastly more powerful than the regular Dragon Balls. Unfortunately for the self-proclaimed emperor, he didn't do enough research, otherwise he would have known the consequences of using the Black Star Dragon Balls. Currently, Pilaf and Shu, who were young adults rather than old men, do the wish they made years ago, before the androids and Cell showed up to restore their youth. Only to end up turning themselves into babies instead. With the two having exited the lookout after gathering the Dragon Balls. With it just being the two of them, after Mai had left to pursue her new relationship with Trunks, rather than seek world domination. With Shu having come along, just to help his friend, and so he didn't bite off more than he could chew. Yes. At long last, everything we have worked for has culminated to this moment. Pilaf said, grinning that he'd soon have the entire Earth under his control. Congratulations sir, it's such an honor to be here to witness your victory. Said Shu while sniffling. And now, rise. Rise Shenron. Pilaf declared, holding his arms up as the black star balls began glowing and emitting smoke, while sky darkened before in a burst of light Shenron appeared, only for Pilaf and Shu's eyes to widen in shock at the sheer size of the dragon. As rather than being big enough to coil around the lookout, its head alone was roughly the size of the lookout. Not only that, but this Shenron was blood red with golden horns and glowing yellow eyes. As opposed to being green with green horns and red eyes. Why have you summoned me? Demanded Ultimate Shenron, as Pilaf and Shu cowered at the size of the dragon, not expecting it to be this huge. Hey, what's going on in there? Said Goku, having just completed Uub's training and was prepared to return home until he saw the flashing lights from inside and came to investigate. It's him. Shu said, freaking out at seeing Goku, remembering when he first stopped them when he was a kid. Huh? Hey, I know you guys, don't I can't place it, but you look familiar. Do you know me? Goku asked, vaguely recognizing them, but couldn't place from where he's seen them. Hey Shu, who is that? Said Pilaf, also having trouble remembering where he's seen Goku before. It's that little kid Goku, all grown up. Shu whimpered, remembering how strong Goku was as a kid and figured he's even stronger now. The Goku you mean that guy is the same brat who always got in the way of my plans? Demanded Pilaf, shocked and angered to see the same brat all grown up now. Oh yeah, now I remember, you're Emperor Pilaf. I definitely have a hard time forgetting blue skin and pointy ears. Said Goku, now remembering when he encountered Pilaf as a kid. Shu annihilate him. Ordered Pilaf, making Shu's robot close and fire a missile at Goku, only for the Saiyan to stop it with one hand. HMPH, even after all these years, you guys are still up to no good. But where's the other one? I think her name was Mai. Goku said, remembering there were 3 of them. She kinda left and is dating that Trunks guy now. Answered Shu. Good for them. Said Goku smiling, happy to hear that Trunks and Mai were dating. And you've just grown from a little nuisance into a bigger one. Pilaf shouted, angry that Goku was once again ruining his plans. Well yeah, you're the bad guys, so I'm supposed to ruin your evil plans. Said Goku, like it was obvious while walking towards them. No, get away from me. You're like 3 times my size. I wish you were a little kid again, then I could really teach you a lesson or two. Pilaf shouted while forgetting just what he was doing a moment ago. So be it. Declared Ultimate Shenron as his eyes glowed. Oh, crud. Pilaf muttered, completely forgetting about the giant wish-granting dragon as Goku was surrounded in an orb of electricity and began shrinking until he was once again a young boy. Your wish has been granted. Until the next summoning. Ultimate Shenron said before vanishing while the Black Star Dragon Balls flew up into the sky and off the earth. Later with Naruto and Pan. After reaching the city, Bra and Marron had gone off on their own due to having other plans, leaving Naruto and Pan to hang out together. Much to the Quarter Saiyan's enjoyment at getting some time with Naruto to herself, while Marron and Bra were annoyed at Pan, likely gaining a lead against them. Hey, how about we go to the movies? Pan suggested, with Naruto looking at the posters before nodding. Sure, sounds like foo, do you hear gunshots? Said Naruto, only to stop when they heard gunfire before they went to investigate, only to find a bank being robbed and a hostage situation. On second thought, I think we just found something more fun to do. Naruto said while grinning, eager for the chance to beat up some criminals. The first to take out the most doesn't have to pay for lunch, said Pan with her own grin. You're on, said Naruto before the two rushed forward and leapt over the crowd and barricade. But Pan landing on top of a police car, kicking the lights off and hitting one of the robbers, while Naruto spin kicked the one holding the hostage before grabbing her and jumping back. Leave some for me, said Goku, who had been having lunch across the street before it was interrupted by all the shooting, arriving in time to see his granddaughter and best friend's son fighting the robbers. But the miniaturized Saiyan slamming his foot into the third robber's face, taking them out, while Pan and Naruto looked at him, the former in annoyance and the latter with wide eyes. Having recognized him from the pictures he's seen of Goku when he was a kid, as well as the tales that his father and Master Roshi told him about Goku back when he and Krillin were studying under the turtle hermit. Hey little boy, we appreciate the help, but we have this handled. Now get going before you get hurt, Pan said before pushing him away. What, but I can fight, said Goku, confused as to why she was making him leave. I'm sure you can, but we have much more experience than Pan said before Naruto stopped her. And I think that's Goku, said Naruto, making Pan pause before looking at Goku, her eyes widening in shock and horror as she finally got a good look at him. Wah boo boo boo, how did this happen? Pan screamed, wondering just what her grandfather has gotten into this time. Especially since the Dragon Balls had already been used earlier, if that was the reason for the sky turning dark. Yeah, how are you a kid again, Goku? Naruto asked, just as shocked and confused, while Goku scratched the back of his head sheepishly. That's a bit of a story, actually, said Goku, making Naruto and Pan wonder just had happened. After getting over the shock at seeing her grandfather was now a little kid, Pan, Naruto, and Goku had traveled to the Sun residence. With Naruto also calling his family and filling them in on what happened, leading to Krillin, 18, and Marron flying there as well, all three being shocked to see Goku was really a little kid. But the de-aged Saiyan going on to explain everything that happened after he and Uub finished their training, encountering Pilaf and Shu, then the accidental wish that made him young again. But Chichi crying at the sight of her husband now being a child, with Videl comforting her. So, they caught you off guard, huh? Gohan asked, still surprised at the sight of his father as a kid, with Goku nodding. I had no idea the dragon was there when I walked in, then Pilaf made the wish, and suddenly I'm a kid again, said Goku, having not expected there to be another set of Dragon Balls, let alone an entire set just lying around on the lookout, so he didn't expect there to suddenly be another Shenron flying above him. Man Goku, it seems like no matter what, you always seem to find yourself in trouble, Krillin said, sighing, while 18 smirked as she looked at the mini Goku. Is it wrong if I found this rather hilarious? Because it's pretty funny, stated 18, unable to help but find the situation funny, especially after they heard how big Ultimate Shenron was. Wondering how Goku could have missed a massive bright red dragon that could probably wear the regular Shenron like a scarf. Well, now I have a pint-sized grandpa that looks like he should still be in diapers, Pan said, frustrated with the whole situation that when her grandfather finally comes home, it's as a kid younger than her. I was already aging faster than him, but now this. Chichi cried, knowing that Saiyans already aged slower than humans, with it now just being more apparent upon seeing her husband as a child again. Why don't you just gather up these Black Star Dragon Balls and use them to reverse the wish then? If they're more powerful than the regular ones, then they'll be able to fix it, suggested Marron while suppressing her smirk, as like her mother, she did find it kind of funny. Yeah, it should be easy enough. We can just get the dragon radar from Bulma and go collect them, Gohan said, thinking it'd be easy to locate the Black Star Balls scattered across the earth. Though before anyone could say anything, they all looked up when they heard King Kai. Yeah, that's not going to work. Unlike the regular Dragon Balls, the Black Star Dragon Balls don't scatter across the earth when they're used. They become scattered across the entire universe, King Kai revealed, much to everyone's shock. The entire universe, said Naruto, shocked that the Black Star Dragon Balls were that far gone. It'd take years just to collect them all. Oh man, and I really liked being an adult, Goku said, since he didn't want to be a child again, especially with how he'd be treated differently for how young he looked rather than being seen as his true age. If the Black Star Dragon Balls are the only way to turn you back to normal and they're now scattered across the whole universe, it may be impossible to reverse Pilaf's wish. The only solution I can really think of is that you just grow up like everyone else, Gohan said, unable to think of any other solution to fix this. Absolutely not. Can you imagine someone my age married to someone like this? I'll either be an old hag or dead by the time Goku's an adult again, cried Chichi, not like the idea of having to wait for her husband to grow up, especially given how old she already is. What about the Namekian Dragon Balls? Would they work? Videl asked, having heard of all the adventures Gohan went on as a kid, including the trip to Namek and the Dragon Balls they have there. The Namekian Dragon Balls wouldn't work either. The Black Star Dragon Balls are the most powerful Dragon Balls I've heard of, with their power to grant any wish at any time, when they're gathered together. King Kai said, knowing only the Black Star Balls could reverse the wish that was made, making everyone frown, only for their eyes to widen in shock and fear at what King Kai said next. And that's not all, from what I've learned, the Black Star Dragon Balls must be gathered and returned to Earth. Otherwise in 1 year's time, the entire Earth will be destroyed due to the negative energy they've released after being used. Revealed King Kai, much to everyone's shock. That's what Mr. Popo meant, Goku said, having heard from the genie before he left that the Black Star Dragon Balls must be brought back to the planet they were used on, in the exact spot they were used. He just thought he meant that given how powerful they are and what would happen if they ever fell into the wrong hands. Not that the Earth would be destroyed. Oh man, then you really need to get those Black Star Dragon Balls back soon, Goku. Krillin said, knowing how grave the situation was, making him wish he was in his prime again, as something like this would be enough to make him come out of retirement. Yeah, but how are we supposed to get to the places the Black Star Balls are at now? Said Goku, not knowing how they could find them wherever they are. Bulma's actually been work on a new ship that'll be able to get us to where the Black Star Balls are located. And given everything we've been up against before, you're going to need some help, Dad, so I'll go with you and get Goten as well. Gohan said, as well he may want to live a peaceful life, he wasn't going to sit back while the Earth and his loved ones were in danger of being destroyed. We'll go too. Said Naruto and Pan, raising their hands with excited smiles, both of them wanting to help locate the Black Star Dragon Balls and refusing to miss out on the chance to go on an adventure into space. Hell no. 18 and Videl said, immediately looking at their children, neither of them even entertaining the idea of them going. But Pan went argue. Mom, I can't, said Naruto, only for both of them to be cut off. Pan, your mother's right. There's no way you're going, it's too dangerous for a little girl. Even with your training, there's no telling what we'll encounter. Gohan said, not wanting his daughter to get hurt or worse by going on this trip. The same goes for you, Naruto, no amount of training can prepare you for the unknown or what enemies you'll encounter out in space. Said Krillin, feeling the same as Gohan, but also remembering how he first left Earth to go to Namek and ended up being killed by Frieza, not wanting something like that to happen to his son. But the two said, trying to argue. Naruto, Pan. Goku said, cutting them off, making everyone look at the chibified Saiyan in surprise, since it's rare for Goku to shout. I know you both want to help, believe me I do. But this isn't going to be easy, like your parent said, we don't know what we'll encounter or who we'll need to fight to collect the Black Star Balls. The best thing you both can do is stay here to look after the Earth while Gohan, Goten, and I are gone. Said Goku, surprising everyone again at seeing how serious Goku was, showing he knew now wasn't the time to mess around. Naruto and Pan frowned while crossing their arms, annoyed at being banned from going. Fine, we won't go. Naruto muttered. We'll stay here. Added Pan, making the adults nod at hearing this before they began going over the plan. With Naruto and Pan giving each other a secret look with grins on their faces before they snuck out and took flight towards West City. We're going on that trip. Pan stated, with Naruto nodding in agreement. Yeah, we are. We just need to convince Bra to come, since she'd be angry if we didn't bring her with us. Said Naruto, with Pan nodding in agreement, though she was also annoyed, having hoped to also use the trip to get closer to Naruto, but figured it'd be more fun if all three of them went. It didn't take long before the two arrived at West City as they headed straight for Capsule Corporation and the Briefs compound. Flying outside Bra's window, where they knocked on the window to get her attention, with the brunette looking shocked at seeing them, but opened the window to let them in. Naruto, Pan. What are you guys doing here? Bra asked, wondering what the reason for their sudden visit was. A lot's happened. We were hanging out in the city and planned to go see a movie, only to see a bank being robbed, so we went to fight the robbers, only for this little kid to show up and help, and it turns out he was my grandpa after being turned into a little kid with these things called the Black Star Dragon Balls that were scattered across the universe. Now he, Dad, and Uncle Goten are going to go find them, otherwise the Earth will be destroyed in a year if they aren't brought back, and we're going on the mission with them. Pan said quickly, as Bra looked at them with wide eyes, having understood what the Quarter Saiyan just said from all the time they've spent together. The Earth's going to be destroyed, Bra exclaimed in shock at hearing this. Only if the Black Star Dragon Balls aren't brought back within a year. So, Goku, Gohan, and Goten will be using a ship Bulma's making to go get them, and we're going with them. Naruto said while grinning. And do they know we're going? Bra asked, but had a feeling that she already knew the answer. They'll know after we've already left. Pan said sheepishly, making the half-Saiyan sigh and shake her head. I'd like to go on some crazy adventure into space as much as the next Saiyan, but I think this is a little out of our league. Let's just leave it to the others who have more experience with stuff like this. Bra said, since while she may enjoy the idea of fighting and going on adventures, this seemed out of their league and way too dangerous. With her words making Naruto and Pan frown before they smirked as they knew exactly what to do make her go with them. Well okay. More fighting and adventure for us then. Since you're too scared. Naruto said tauntingly. Yeah. I guess the Saiyan princess is afraid of a little danger. Guess you aren't as strong as you think, Bra. Pan mocked as Bra looked with them with narrowed eyes. It's not gonna work. Said Bra while crossing her arms, knowing they were trying to bait her. I don't know what you're talking about. You said you weren't going, and we understand, it's alright to be scared, Bra. Pan said understandingly, while Naruto nodded in agreement. Yeah, you don't want to go and get hurt. I mean, unless you want to prove us wrong and you aren't scared. Naruto said, with Bra looking between them with narrowed eyes before she smirked. I know you're playing me, but you're right. We'll go and I'll show both of you just why I'm the strongest out of the three of us. Said Bra as the three friends flew out the window. Okay, it should take a few days for the ship to be ready, especially with that new tech I brought Mom from the poacher's ship. That'll give us time to get some training in. Bra said, knowing they'll have a little time before the ship is ready. Awesome. And we could make the most of it by heading to the lookout and using the hyperbolic time chamber. That way we can get an entire year's worth of training done in a single day. Said Naruto, making the girl smile in excitement at getting that much training done. We can also stop at Korin's tower to drink the ultra-divine water. But me and Bra will drink it first, since from what I learned about it, the water takes on special properties of those that drink it. And since Grandpa drank it when he was originally a kid, if Bra and I drink it first, you'll get a Zenkai boost ability that could be on par with an actual Saiyan's. Once you get it, Naruto, while ours will also be boosted. Pan said, with Naruto smiling, knowing that'll definitely be useful. That is if any of you survive drinking the water in the first place. Said Piccolo as the Super Namekian appeared alongside the preteens, making them freeze in midair looking at him slowly. Oh Piccolo. How much did you? Naruto said, knowing it was useless to try and hide what they were doing. Every word. Along with what was said at Goku's house while I was on the lookout and what you three are about to do. Piccolo interrupted, making them nervous that he was going to stop them, only the Namekian to smirk at them. I also know it'd be pointless trying to stop you runts. So instead, I'm going with you into the time chamber to make sure you'll all be prepared for anything you'll encounter. Said Piccolo, knowing they'd find a way to go on the mission no matter what, so he can at least do everything he can to prepare them. Plus, since he can survive only on water, there's no worry of him going into the room of spirit and time with them. And this'll also give him a chance to get some training in as well, knowing that while they're gone, there's always the chance of some threat coming to the earth. All the three smiled at his words, relieved that he wasn't going to try stopping them and was in fact going to help them. With that, the four flew off to Korin's tower to have them drink the ultra-divine water before going up the lookout to enter the hyperbolic time chamber. Later with Trunks. Meanwhile, Trunks had just arrived at Capsule Corporation to begin his work as CEO, and the half-Saiyan honestly hated it. Given how he still wasn't used to being stuck inside an office all day, filling out paperwork and attending meetings. It was all just overwhelming for him, and it made him miss the days when he was younger, where got to fight alongside Goten and the rest of the Z fighters. Sure, it might have been against beings that could destroy entire galaxies, even the universe. But at least it was fun, thanks to his Saiyan side living off the thrill of battle and fighting strong opponents. Now he's traded it in for a suit, an office, and endless paperwork. And the worst and best part was his secretary girlfriend Mai, who always seemed to know when he was trying to sneak off and stop him. Refusing to let him leave until all his work was done for the day, like right now. How does she always know? Trunks thought while slowly banging his head against his desk, which was filled to the brim with paperwork, while Mai listed off everything he needed to do for the day. All while the half-Saiyan looked longingly at the window he usually slips out of to escape work, which was now covered by bars and several locks. Thankfully though, the door suddenly barged open as Vegeta entered the office. The Prince of all Saiyans not having changed much, aside from wearing more casual clothing and having grown a mustache. Boy. We're leaving. Vegeta said, making Trunks and Mai look at him in surprise. Father. Said Trunks, confused as to why his father was here, but also thankful for the interruption. Vegeta, you can't just barge in like that, Trunks still has plenty of work to do. Mai said, while frowning at her future father-in-law. Well, consider this him taking a very long break. Now let's go, we have to grab Goten now. Said Vegeta while grabbing Trunks by the back of his jacket and literally dragging him out of the office, while the two looked at him in surprise and confusion. Where are we going and why do we need Goten? Trunks asked in confusion. Because your woman's dumbest friends turned Kakarot into a brat. Now you, him, Gohan, and Goten are going into space to collect new Dragon Balls, or else the Earth will be destroyed," said Vegeta, shocking them yet again. Wait, Pilaf and Shu did what Mai said, realizing who he was talking about and not believing her former boss actually did something that could destroy the planet. Yep. And now both of them are being forced to repair the damage done to the Lookout thanks to Kakarot's Anoob's training. And afterwards, they'll be sparring with me," Vegeta said while smirking wickedly. Father, you do know that they wouldn't stand a chance against you, right?" said Trunks. "Exactly. If the planet's going to be destroyed in a year, then I'm going to make the most of it and beat the crap out of the idiots responsible for an entire year," Vegeta said, wanting to make the most of it if they're all going to die in a year. Along with planning to train as much as he can to surpass his current limits, knowing there's always another level of power for a Saiyan to reach. And Vegeta had no intentions of stopping his training, no matter what threats there were. Later. "I still don't understand," Goten said as he and Trunks were being dragged by Vegeta. "Why do we have to go with Goku? Isn't Gohan going?" said Trunks, not knowing why they had to go as well, since Goku and Gohan seemed like more than enough to gather the Black Star Dragon Balls. "You'll go and you like it," Vegeta retorted as he ignored their complaints. "This is not cool," Goten said since he didn't want to go on some space adventure. "Both of you have grown unbearably soft in these peace times after Kid Buu's defeat, as well as the very few threats we had since then. And knowing Kakarot, he'll encounter trouble in no time, so you two are going, both to man up and make sure that idiot doesn't get himself, and all of us, killed," said Vegeta, knowing Goku was a magnet for all kinds of trouble and would need all the help he could get. "You do know I have a date tonight," stated Goten, with that being the main reason for his reluctance, since he didn't know how he was going to explain this to Valise. "Dating is for the weak," Vegeta retorted, seeing how he and Bulma never dated and still got married. "What about me? I am the president of Capsule Corporation," Trunks said, now actually preferring to go back to his office. "And this is a hostile takeover," said Vegeta as the boys tried thinking of excuses to get out of going. "Well, what about my mother? She'd never let me set foot on a spaceship," Goten said, knowing for a fact his mother would never allow this to happen. "It was all her idea," Vegeta revealed with a smirk while Goten's eyes widened in shock. "You're kidding me," said Goten, not believing this was Chi-Chi's idea. "With Goku? Wow, it looks just like the one I used to get to Namek," Goku said, looking at the spaceship that he, Gohan, Trunks, and Goten will be using to find the Black Star Balls. "Yep, I based it off of that one, with some improvements, thanks to the new tech Bra brought me from that poacher ship on 17's island. I even added a gravity chamber for you all to use and train in, like with the older models that you and Vegeta used. Just in case you encounter anything too dangerous," explained Bulma, making Goku grin in excitement. "Awesome. That'll definitely be useful, thanks Bulma," Goku said while smiling at his friend, which Bulma returned and patted the de-aged Saiyan on the head. "No problem. And seeing you like this, Goku, it actually reminds me of when we first met, seeing you this tiny again," Bulma said, having immediately thought of when she first met Goku all those years ago after getting a look at him when he came over. Nodding in agreement, Goku began getting some last-minute training in before it was time for them to leave. While Gohan and Videl were looking over the ship, making sure everything is in perfect condition for when they leave. "You know, I'm actually impressed. I really thought Naruto and Pan would be here right now, trying to convince us to let them go on this trip. I was sure they inherited the same stubbornness that we and the rest of the Z fighters had when it came to fighting or protecting the Earth," Gohan said, with Videl nodding in agreement. "Yeah, but I'm glad that they listened and agreed not to go or tried sneaking on board," said Videl, glad that her daughter and her friend weren't going to do something reckless, with Gohan nodding in response, having fully expected them to do something like that. Neither of them knowing just how wrong they were or the fact that they likely just jinxed themselves. "Hame house. Mom, Dad. Have you guys seen Naruto?" Marron asked while coming downstairs after trying to find her brother but couldn't find him anywhere, with 18 immediately standing up at hearing this. "He's not here, where is he?" said 18, as given what happened earlier, the android was suspicious of where her son was and if he's planning something. "Relax 18, I'm sure Naruto's fine. He's probably just off playing with Pan and Bra," Krillin said, only to gulp when 18 narrowed her eyes at him. "Playing with them?" 18 hissed, now angry at the idea of her little baby playing with those girls. No, not like that. I meant like at the park or an arcade. Or even at a dojo training," Krillin said frantically. "Yeah, normal kid stuff. Besides, they won't be playing like that for a couple more years," Hirashi said while laughing, only to be cut off and forced to duck when 18 and Marron both shot finger beams at him, refusing to even think of Naruto doing stuff like that with Pan and Bra. 18, Marron, relax. Naruto is completely fine and don't worry about him trying to sneak onto the ship to go with Goku and the others. He and Pan already agreed they wouldn't go, so there's nothing to worry about. Assured Krillin, as the mother and daughter crossed their arms and nodded reluctantly, still wishing to know where their son brother was, but accepted that he's probably fine. Time skip one day. The lookout. Up on the lookout, the door to the hyperbolic time chamber opened up as Naruto, Pan, Bra, and Piccolo exited the room. The four having spent an entire year within the chamber, training and growing stronger in preparation for the three preteens sneaking onto the mission to join the others in finding the Black Star Dragon Balls. But Pan and Bra having especially grown stronger as they learned plenty under Piccolo. Including the technique that he and Goku had taught Goten and Trunks in order to prepare them to face Majin Buu. The fusion dance to fuse together, with their fusion being very strong due to their compatibility and power. Along having unlocked the same power the rest of their families had access to, having been able to reach the level of Super Saiyan. While Naruto had been able to master and perfect his Kaiohenshin, with all that's left being to further evolve the transformation to make it even stronger. And the best part of it is that unlike the regular Kaioken, Naruto doesn't have to worry about negative drawbacks from utilizing his Kaiohenshin and can use it as long as he wants. Along with even teaching Piccolo how to use it, along with the Kaioken, given how his physiology made it perfect for the Super Namekian to learn, thanks to his healing factor. With Piccolo being glad for the new power, knowing it'll be useful to make sure the Earth is safeguarded from any threats, while Goku and the others are away. Are you three ready? Piccolo asked while looking at his newest students, with the three nodding. As ready as we'll ever be. Replied Naruto, knowing they've prepared as much as they can. Anything we encounter, we'll be ready for it. Pan said while punching her palm, eager for the chance to test out her new power on whatever enemies they'll encounter. We still drop off those letters for our families as well. Reminded Bra, the three having written letters to their families to let them know what they're doing so they don't worry. Nodding at this, the three then took off flying to drop off their letters before going to Capsule Corporation to sneak aboard the ship. Later. Main power link. Bulma asked while looking at Gohan as they were ready to take off. Check. Said Gohan as he looked everything over to see if the ship was operational and ready to go. All systems are go for launch. Said Bulma while looking down to Goku, Trunks, and Goten. Goku, keep those two out of trouble. Chichi said from beside Videl, not wanting Goten and Trunks to get into trouble. Don't worry Chichi, I will. Replied Goku while smiling and waving to his wife. Be safe Trunks. Mai said as she smiled at her boyfriend, which Trunks returned before looked worriedly at the ship. Oh man, this isn't the kind of vacation I had in mind. Muttered Trunks, having wanted a break from work, but not one where he goes off into space, with Goten smirking at his friend before his phone started ringing and saw it was his girlfriend. Hey Valise, did you get my message? No I swear, I really am going to outer space. Goten said over the ship's engine, while motioning Goku and Trunks to get in the ship and wait for him. Hey Gohan, have you seen Pan anywhere? Videl asked, worried for where their daughter was, having thought she'd be here to see Goku, Goten, Gohan, and Trunks off. I think she's with Bra and Naruto. Said Gohan as he stood up so he could get ready himself. And where are those two? I thought Bra would be up there with Vegeta. Videl said as they looked up to where Vegeta stood, finding his daughter mysteriously missing from his side. The two trading a look while gaining a sinking feeling at where the children were. Meanwhile, Goku and Trunks entered the ship and went up to the living quarters. So, this is supposed to pass as our home for the next year? Trunks asked as they looked around. Is that the kitchen? Asked Goku excitedly while running over to what he thought was the kitchen. No Goku, that's the control room. Replied Trunks walking over, only to be shocked when looked inside and saw Naruto, Pan, and Bra. Hi. Pan said while smiling at the two. And Naruto, Goku said, not expecting to see them here. Bra, what are you doing here? Trunks questioned, not knowing why his sister was on the ship. We're making sure everything is running in the ship, duh. Now strap in guys, we're about to take off. Bra said as she smirked at her brother. Guys, seriously, this is no time for messing around. Said Trunks, thinking they were playing a game. Exactly. So let's blast off. Said Pan before pressing the activation button, knowing they had to leave before her father got on the ship, much to Goku and Trunks' shock and horror at what she just did. But the sudden start making Goku and Trunks lose their footing, with the half Saiyan stumbling back, smacking his head against the wall and leaving a noticeable dent. By the way, where's Goten? Bra asked while looking around for the other half Saiyan. Yeah, wasn't he supposed to come with us? Said Naruto, with the two knowing that Pan wanted to leave before Gohan got on the ship, but they didn't see Goten anywhere. While outside the ship, Goten was trying to convince his girlfriend he was in fact going to outer space for a year, before he cried out and was thrown back as the ship suddenly started up and began to take off. As the others watched the ship take off, Bulma caught sight of something falling before it landed on the ground beside her. Picking it up, Bulma paled when she saw it was a chip, and to her internal panic, she recognized it as part of the ship. Came house. Naruto, you are so dead. Marron muttered as she and her parents had just finished reading Naruto's letter of where he was at the moment. With Marron being angry that not only did her brother go off on the trip like he did, but he went with Bra and Pan. With the blonde teen angry that her brother was gone for an entire year, that he didn't think to bring her with him, but he brought Pan and Bra, and that they'd be alone with her precious brother for an entire year. And she wasn't there to keep him to herself. Well, I certainly hope he enjoys this little trip because when he gets back, I'm really going to show him the meaning of the word grounded. Stated 18, swearing that when she gets her hands on her son, he won't be leaving his room until she was dead. And given the enhancements she had, along with her essentially having eternal youth, that won't be for a very, very, very long time, if at all. With Naruto. Meanwhile, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sudden shiver go up his spine, as if someone just walked over his grave. Something tells me I shouldn't go directly home when we get back to Earth. Naruto thought, feeling like he should hope this trip takes as long as it can. So this part ends here. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Bye bye.